Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Alive, and this is the first episode of Sundays with Steve. And my first guest volunteered, of course, the very famous Kate Strachnyi. Uh, Kate, welcome to the show. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much. It's an
volunteering.
honor to be your first guest. Very, very excited to be here. Sundays with
So,
Steve. Let's do it.
interesting fact, uh, I know Kate, I'm not going to say for how many years, but all her life as
It's a
her
lot of
old,
years.
as your older brother. I know you from when you were born. And it's very interesting to see you transitioning from, being in a, I like I said diapers, they had no diapers back in Russia, but from growing up and to be from a little kid to now, kind of big deal on LinkedIn, right? You get in, you got to the point when you built your own company, right? You're successful in all the areas of your life. You have a amazing husband. Say hi to Peter from me. Kids, right? You're great in everything you do, and now you built this company with 180, I believe, thousand followers, and
Close,
right now
yeah.
on LinkedIn. I'm not gonna mention YouTube and all these other social media, but LinkedIn is the one. And when we spoke the other day, and you mentioned that maybe I should do something new and different and try new things, and AI is the big thing, right? So the idea came up to do Sundays with Steve, where every Sunday I would try to interview new people, uh, and the main topics would be AI, of course,
Mhm.
uh, how AI reflects and plays a big role right now in every industry, including finance, right? I'm more into the finance, more into data. Welcome again to the show. If you don't mind, just to give us a little introduction, how did you get from zero in LinkedIn to 180,000 at this point?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'd love to do an introduction, but first, I want to say that I'm very proud of you for doing this. I'm very excited, and I think your perspective is going to be very relevant for the vast majority of people who are consuming this content because AI is I'm not going to say it's coming out of nowhere, but it kind of is, and it's the speed at which it's coming into everybody's life. I think we need a perspective of someone who's in the corporate world who didn't study data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence in college, and you're sort of having to deal with these process automations and all of that. So really can't wait to see all the guests that you have on the show. But yes, very quick intro. I'm Kate, founder of a company called DATAcated. It's a media company. We help companies in AI, data analytics, and in tech in general to raise their brand awareness and reach a broader audience. And I don't remember when I had zero followers. It was a long time ago, but I think I got lucky enough with LinkedIn that I started creating content in about 2016, 2018, which is about 10 years ago, right? And that's when LinkedIn transformed from being a resume kind of platform, job
Hmm.
application, to a content creation and consumption. So I was sort of riding that wave and got lucky. But I think in addition to that, just posting almost every single day, that consistency definitely helped with the growth.
That's awesome. So interesting that we're growing up, everybody knew you as Steve's baby sister, and now everybody knows me as Kate's older brother. So, and
Older
I see
brother, much, much older brother.
much older brother. But I see how you came along, like you were sort of a shy growing up, right? Not as outgoing,
That
not
is
as
true. I
open
was
right
afraid to
now.
speak until I was like 14. Yeah, that's
Yeah, so and I visited few events with you, and I see how, first of all, everybody approaches you, like everybody knows you somehow, right? In your field, like they say, fish in the water, you're like a shark
yeah.
in the water there. Like you're already
Wow.
at the level that you come across, like, not come across, you are very confident, you speak, you know, like you mean it and you know the subject. How would you suggest other people starting now? And then maybe some of them are introverts, like not
Mm.
as outspoken, not as easy for them to connect to people. And I understand posting content is important, right? To grow your audience and share the knowledge and share the different ideas. But how do you actually go out to the public
Yeah.
and be comfortable to speaking from CEOs to presidents of different companies?
Yeah, I think confidence comes from being authentic and honest with what you do know and what you don't know. So if right now you told me I have to explain some really complicated algorithm that I don't feel comfortable explaining, I would start to feel nervous. I would start to feel like imposter syndrome. Oh my God, maybe I don't know this well enough. But when you speak about the things you do know and you come out there with curiosity and just say, oh, I'm not sure about this topic, but I'd love to talk about it, that helps grow your confidence. And obviously, learning, right? So I studied a lot, I read a lot of books, I spoke to, I don't know, probably thousands of people at this time, at this point to do these interviews myself, which is how I started with humans of data science. And I was so scared the first few sessions. I remember my first podcast when someone asked me to be a guest on their podcast interview. I was so freaked out. I literally almost messaged the person saying, "Hey, something came up. I can't do it." And the kid in college, right? He was just talk about imposter syndrome. I already had a few years of, experience and work experience, and I was studying and doing courses, and he was just still in school, and I was nervous to be interviewed by him.
Hmm.
But I remember kind of saying, do it anyways, and let's just see what happens, kind of like an experiment. I'm very glad I did because it does get easier, and I think you do grow your confidence with the more you do these things.
It's interesting. Uh, yeah, I know. Growing up, you're not only great, by the way, in dedicated stuff and all this information, but also great in running marathons, which we should sign up for another one next year, right?
We
Uh,
should do it together. Yes.
yeah. Well, what are the tactics would you suggest somebody do to do? Because I know why I say marathons, it's kind of to link. Like
Mm,
marathon is not a sprint, right?
right.
It's slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
We trained. We completed at least three official marathons together, besides the Spartan races and ultras. Uh, and I know it's a slow game, so to say, right, to get to the finish line. What are the most skills that are important in this game of uh, not only getting followers, that's not the game, obviously, but what skills do people need to possess to kind of, or to acquire to be helpful, right, to people to actually deliver a great content, help people
Mm.
to understand and learn new things between data, AI, finance, so those sort of things, and also grow their following in LinkedIn or other social media.
Yeah, I think so. First, picking the platform that you want to grow in. So I think for me, the platform started kind of as YouTube, but mainly has been LinkedIn. And I think I do recommend that for most people listening is LinkedIn is a great platform for professionals because you see who you're talking to and you see their name, you see their company. They tend to be nicer and more real. So I think first picking the platform and then look at the content that you are drawn to. Which content are you actually watching and which one are you scrolling past as fast as you can see? If it's
Mm,
something generic, if it's something AI generated, if it's something boring, if it's something that's just too long or too short, like think of yourself and then that is generally what other people might want to consume as well. So the things that make you stop and look, was it a flashy picture? Was it a video? Was it something funny, right? Experiment with those types of content. So I think the main skill is being open to experimenting. So,
mm,
platforms provide so many different types of content. You can try writing, you can try longer writing with articles, you can try a poll to see like A or B, get your audience to vote. You can try short video. You're starting with the hardest, I would say, that most people take years to even get around to going on camera and getting someone on the show. I think this is the most difficult in the sense where it takes a lot of confidence to also go on camera. People are scared to be like, oh my God, people are going to see me. People are going to hear me. I think most people are nervous about people they already know that might see this content, right? They're okay if strangers see it, but oh, what if my colleagues see it? So kind of getting over that fear and reminding yourself that life is short and kind of who cares if you said something differently? Like we are all unique and that's what makes us interesting to begin with. So being open to experimenting, changing if something doesn't work, and talking about things that you're interested in. So don't talk about something just because you think your audience cares about it. What do you actually care about, right? Like conversations like this, I think are interesting to other people because they're going to follow your journey of learning about, I know you already know a bit about AI, but getting deeper into the topic and they're going to follow along. It's going to be great.
nice, nice. Well, one of the biggest reasons I don't care about the camera anymore. That being shy or whatever. First of all, I'm not a shy person, as you know me, your
Yes.
whole life. But secondly, you're the one who pushed me into not caring much about it because you made me do that TikTok video, which went viral, 13 million views. After that, I was like, 30 million views view me already. Like, what else to be shy about? It's
It's true.
nothing. We're just sharing the information, sharing with people. And I love talking to people,
Yes.
communications, and that's what made it easy for me to be on the camera. So no surprise there. I'm not as shy as other people, but
Yeah.
in that sense, what's interesting is like start when I started now to look more into on LinkedIn, obviously professional platform, and there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of influencers and in that
Mm.
field, right? In your field. What makes you stand out? Like, because like a lot of time at these events, right? For example, I see how could be hundreds of people, few hundreds of people, but a lot of people tend to kind of come try to get to you to say, "Hey, Kate, remember me? We did this event. We did this event." You definitely stand out, right? And somehow among so if out of top 5%, top I don't know 10%, what is it gonna take for somebody to be the best at what they do in their field?
This is my favorite show, by the way. I love this. Keep going. This sounds great. I love all the compliments. Um, I think being approachable, which I think you're very great at, like being human, kind of not pretending that you're like better than anybody else, just when people approach you, kind of being friendly and social, and I call it normal, but to some people, I guess it's not. So being approachable would probably be the main thing of why people would want to talk to you. But the other part is, right, I've been sharing content for, let's say, 10 years, almost daily. And so people start to feel like they know you. You probably you watch people on social media, sometimes you follow them for years and they could be famous, they could be, in government or whatever, wherever they might be. And you start to feel like you know them, especially if you see a lot of their video content. Because then you see their mannerisms, you are used to their voice. I think it's human nature to start to build trust, even though that person might like they feel like they know you. You probably have never seen their name if they never engaged on your content, right? So it is a little awkward if people come up and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And like they've never engaged with my content, but they feel like they know me so well. So it does get a little interesting, but I think it's through years of consistent content.
Hmm, that's great. Uh, for one of the biggest questions on everybody's mind, in my field at least at this point, related to AI, of course, our good friend ChatGPT and everybody else, all these cousins of this
Yeah.
ChatGPT. There's so many now, right? So the ChatGPT's cousins, are they taking our jobs away or not? Right? I've been in finance technically like almost 25 years, from
Mm.
K-Show to BlackRock, now at Bloomberg, almost 16 years. And now more so than ever, people, and we have some implementations of AI, different ones, and some of the agents are there to identify which areas could be automated, which areas could be
Mm.
improved. And obviously, it's important to use it because it's the same thing, you do the calculation in your head versus calculator versus Excel sheet, like all these innovations and are meant to be improvement and to let people use their brains for more analytical, different set of skills, and the mundane, boring, day-to-day jobs to be taken away by AI.
Hmm.
But it's also kind of scary, especially for people to be in corporations, any corporation, right? At this point, 10, 20 years, maybe more. And right now, it's like, oh, AI is going to take my job away. And I know we read the wrong, like when we met last time, there was somebody who said it. I forgot. The quote was like, AI is not going to take your job away. Person who knows AI will take your job away, kind of, right? What is your
Yeah.
take on this?
Yeah, I think that was Jensen Huang, the
Mm,
CEO of NVIDIA, who his quote has been thrown around almost by every keynote presentation I've ever seen, and everyone talks about it because it's very true. Um, AI is not taking our jobs, although for some people it really is wiping them out. But for the most part, it's augmenting how we do our jobs. And even myself in my business, I've been playing around a lot with ChatGPT's cousin named Claude. I think it's a French cousin. Anyways, so And it really is changing the game for my business, and I can only imagine what it's going to do for others. So it is going to change. And I think just like the other industrial revolution and other phases of change, it's similar, but at the same time, it's different because it's just replacing so many processes at once, and people are they're able to implement it so much quicker, right? And it is a little bit scary because we can't tell the future, but I think we can definitely predict that a lot of the processes of, click here, drag and drop here, type something here are going to go away. The more repeatable the process, the easier it is for AI to remove it. So I think for, advice for the future is doubling down on anything that makes us truly human. So I do think conversations like this, I think people prefer to hear real human people, speaking versus AI generated content. At least I can't stand it. If I can
Yeah, I
tell it's
know.
AI, I'm like, yeah, scroll away. Unless it's something funny, then I'll watch it. But um, so I think it is happening, and it is happening faster than before, but I do think we'll all have something to do in the future. It's just going to look different, and we probably don't even know, we can't even imagine what that is going to be yet. But keep like staying on this trend is very important. Don't put your head in the sand and think everything's going to be okay. So continuing to
Exactly.
evolve and learn.
Yeah, I know we could talk for hours. Not because you're my sister, but also, this conversation is very interesting. And we're trying to keep the Sundays with Steve show around 4 or 5 minutes per person. So, because I know
It's
it's,
the first show. It's okay, Steve.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
but it's not easy for people. A lot of people are busy, they have lives, they have kids, they have commitments, arrangements, especially Sundays. People want to rest. Uh, on a final thought, I'm not sure how many minutes was already done. Like, to me, I feel like it's only a couple of minutes. But on a final thought, if somebody would come to you, a fresh, somebody from college or somebody who likes this field and want to start and have zero followers, zero, anybody, no, nothing yet. They're just opening a fresh LinkedIn account because, as you
yeah.
said, yeah, TikTok is for fun, right? There's Facebook for families or for
Mhm.
old people. They say, like, for me, right? Older, but LinkedIn is the professional one. If somebody's starting right now and they come to you as a true professional in your field at this point,
Mhm.
and you achieved already a goal which a lot of people would want to get to your point, right? And so, what would you suggest to them or give them advice? Start here, continue doing this, and you'll get there.
Okay, I love this question. Great way to end the chat. So, step one would be make sure you complete your LinkedIn profile as much as you could. So, good picture, full name, verify the name to so people can know that it's really you. You could do that by uploading your license or whatever. Fill in your bio, be as brutally honest. Don't use AI to generate your story. You have an authentic story, and that's why people are going to care. And being true to yourself. So if you just graduated college or if you're still in college, talk about that experience. Don't talk about how you're an expert if you're not, right? If you have a job doing something and it relates somehow to the topic that you want to be known for, talk about that as long as it's allowed by your employer. I think starting with what do you want to be known for? So when you're building a personal brand, what are the top three things you want people to think of when they're thinking of you? So for you, Steve, I would say, AI, tech, finance, right? Those things together is like what you want people to think about. So talk about those three topics, and the more you do that, the more people are going to think about it. And then next part is, we talked about marathons and running. So I think it's kind of like training like physically. So the more you do it every day consistently, the more you're going to see results. You can't just run a marathon in 10 minutes or so, and just be done and expect things to grow on their own. So I would say posting 3 to 5 times a week about the topic you want to be known for, and then connect with people, right? So add them on, connect. If they connect with you, you can accept the connection or seek out the people that you want to be, speaking to, that you want that are also known for that same personal brand that you're going after, and make actual friends, right? So a lot of people I met on LinkedIn, I've met in real life, and we build real friendships. And I'll end there because I think that's already a lot. But being true to yourself and continuing to post is the main part.
Oh, those are excellent tips.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Especially Yeah, you keep telling me never use AI. Do your own
It,
thoughts.
it's
I
very
appreciate.
tempting, I know. Use it
Yeah,
to get ideas. Tell it to ask you 10 questions, but then answer those questions as 10 different posts, you know?
as genuinely as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Those are great, great advices, great skills to work on. I appreciate you joining the first episode of Sundays with Steve.
Yay.
This was nice, and I hope we'll have more and more volunteers. I already told my son who works at Google, so I was like, "You'll be one of my volunteers. This is tech. You're working for Google," and he agrees, of course.
Yeah,
So
I think
hopefully,
people should, comment if they want to be on your show. So if they have a story to tell, that
I
could be
was
good.
just gonna say that. Yeah, whoever
Yeah.
wants to be on this show, join. This is literally I wanted to make a show where people feel free to share
Mhm.
what they think about whatever topic is,
Yeah.
and to help others with that sharing, to
Yeah.
get where they want to get.
Such a great
Thank,
way to learn for everybody. So yeah, I agree.
thank you again,
Thank you.
and we'll meet again. Talk later.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.